You know how there's always like that one that got away? Acquired. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at the one that almost got away. And it's these bad boys right here. This, my friends, is the Nike Air Penny 6. These are dope, man. Nike Air Penny line is one of my favorites. We're gonna go over that in 1 second, but I got some other new I used to do this series called Unboxing a Ton of Dope. I don't feel like the series really fits on the channel anymore, especially because sometimes we go through like big droughts of like nothing, but then some days feels like product just throws up in our front door.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, exactly. And so I did get a bunch of stuff recently that's really cool. This shirt is old, but I'm wearing it today because this is perfect.
You win perfect.
You know, because of video games, everything. Petty Shack, this is dope. This shirt was actually gifted to me by one of our wonderful Discord members. I'm from Albany. This is not a plug. Well, it wasn't intended to be. He's got a podcast called Let's Ask an Expert. The concept itself is dope. The guy's got like the perfect voice for radio, which is usually a diss. But
no,
like,
it's you got a face for radio.
Oh, maybe, okay, my bad. I messed it up. However, this guy really does got like a voice for radio.
I'm
not a
jealous.
face, but like he's got like this voice where I was like surprised. Like the pre-convo before the actual podcast interview, like I was like, bro, your voice is amazing. I was jealous. I was like, we need to switch places. He had the best questions and they weren't like sneaker related. It was other stuff. I love talking about other shit. But on top of that, I got this other thing from a friend of mine. He actually runs one of the coolest conventions I've ever seen or that I've ever been to. I've been to comic conventions, I've been to toy conventions, I've been to random nerd ones, but this was Designer Con. And he runs that whole thing. I was asked by my friend Nick Engvall of sneakerhistory.com to come and speak on a panel. I think it was my first panel, and I was nervous as shit because I don't do public speaking, man. But I was able to meet Kai and everything. He's a great dude. And one of the people on the panel actually, I can't remember her name. Raina, that was her name. She does really weird, neat artwork and stuff like that. And as a comic book fan, I just think it's dope. And as a sneaker fan, even doper. And this was, you guys already know this box. You know what I mean? That radiation box, you know what this is, right? Oh, this is the Air Mag.
Oh.
Actually, it's not even called the Air Mag. I always call it, she just rolled her eyes hella heavy, man. I wish y'all could have seen that. This is just really dope. She not only does artwork, but she turns it into vinyl pieces of statues and stuff. Well, this is really f***ing cool. I'll leave links to everything in the description. I know we haven't gotten into these yet, but there's one more thing. Hold on a second. My friends over at the Hoopery, celebrating 5 years of awesomeness. They are dropping a whole 5-year collection, man. And the first 50 people that pre-order their new hoodies actually get this for free. This is super dope, man. This is probably my favorite thing in here. It's shorts and it's got their Hoopery logo embroidered on there, man. I fucking love this. I wear these kind of shorts all the time.
All the time.
All the time. For all of you Oakland natives, Bay Area natives, look at this, man. I love this, man. I love this. And they converted his shoe into a cleat. That's sick. I'm keeping it Bay Area themed. And this was slightly inspired by this Dimes collection. They actually made this graphic. This is not what it looked like. They replaced his head. They replaced the shoes. They put in work for this, man. And then for all of you Laker fans, that's what it is right there. Look at that. Look at that. The D-Fish up tempos. Lovely. Last but not least, this is my second favorite thing. Brand new hoodie, the What the Hoopery hoodie. Support dope stuff, man. If you like retro, old school basketball stuff, old school basketball shoes like I do, then maybe you'll f with this. Now, you guys know that I love pennies, man. I love them. This is one of my favorite shoes of all time, the Nike Air Penny 2. These are fantastic. Another favorite of mine, the Penny 4, even though this is just a ass retro, but it's still pretty. They're just not made like they used to. They're not made the way that they should be made. So yeah, Nike, fix that. But these came out in 2015. This is the Air Penny 6, and this is an interesting shoe because this, much like the Penny 5, was made for lifestyle. It was not made for performance, but you can hoop in them. They're not unhoopable. They're not unsafe to hoop in. They just didn't put everything that they should have inside of this shoe, or everything that they could have, AKA should have. For the money, come on. Now, the reason why I never ended up with a pair of these is because this colorway was the one that I wanted, because this looks just like the Penny 1s, the Penny 2s, and the colorways that I love, you know what I mean? The black, white, and royal. These actually came in a pack. It came in the Sharpie pack with the Foamposite 1 Sharpies. I don't like those. They're whack. Do you know about this story? You know how back in the day, there was all those uniform rules and all that shit and restrictions, and sure enough, Nike, again, had a player with a shoe that was all royal. It didn't match uniform requirements. It needed more black in it. And so they weren't going to let him wear these shoes again in a game. So what he ended up doing is he ended up drawing inside the squiggly lines of the Foamposite 1 with a black Sharpie to make it more black or whatever. The league is different now, thank goodness. So like that's what this shoe came with. And I just think that whole pack, like I think the stories, I don't think it's dumb. I just think the situation was dumb. You know what I mean? I think the story itself is like, oh, that's interesting. I think that the shoe should have just come with a Sharpie instead of already being Sharpied out. It literally has tiger stripes on it now. And I just thought that the Foamposite 1 looked dumb like that. Like, I love the way that the Foamposite 1 looks as is. I don't like all the weird graphics that they always do to it. But I wanted this colorway and it only came with that shoe, man. And I was not paying that much money for these. I got these for $100, brand new, no box. I thought that was a good deal. I'm sure you can get them for cheaper, but this colorway is the one that I wanted. Now there were other great colorways. Actually, I ran into a couple of them over at like Nordstrom and stuff. The blue suede joints were mad fresh, but when I put them on, because I wanted to play in them, when I put them on and I was like, I don't think I could do suede like this anymore, man. Like they were hot, man. I would have sweat right through that. These just were awesome, man. They look like a penny. They fit right in line with everything. I love the wing on the side. I don't know if this is Foamposite though. That's the one thing. It's like, they didn't really do a great job of detailing tech specs on these. When they originally released, they just kind of put them in a sportswear box for the most part and just let them out. But it did have all of the current tech, at least at the time, 2015 again. So you got to think back. This is like LeBron 12 was like around this time frame and all that stuff. KD 7, things like that. So I do believe that this is Foamposite. I just don't know for a fact. The funny thing though is that there's no forefoot cushion, and that's one of the main things that pennies were awesome for. So these guys right here, they have the Air Max back. And then in the forefoot, they got the Zoom Air unit. And the Penny 5s and the Penny 6s, just, they only had heel cushion, no forefoot cushion. I thought that was just a huge mistake. I feel like that's one of the main reasons why they would always go to clearance, because why are you paying over $100 for nothing? But yeah, Penny was a beast, man. The dude was damn near 7 feet tall, but can move like a gazelle, and he passed the ball like nobody's business. Go look up some Penny highlights, man. Penny was the man. Injuries though, injuries. Some of the greatest potential players, injuries. But tech specs on these, like I was saying, nothing in the forefoot. In the back, you have a, what I call max zoom. You know what I mean? It's a large volume Zoom Air unit. It's the visible kind. So LeBron 10, KD 7 heel bag. That's what this guy is right there. You can see the little fibers in there. They also have the stability pillars. So it's a mixture between Air Max and Zoom Air. And I love this. It's hella bouncy, it's hella springy. It's awesome. Now the outsole on these guys, I just love it because this is heritage right here, spelled out without weird storytelling. Like there's not scribble writing or none of that weird shit. This is just what it looked like back in the 90s. The Up-Tempo series had this stuff, and then most of the other shoes had herringbone, and they put both of them on there. It looks awesome. And then they even paid homage or homage, however you want to say it. I like to say homage. That's just the way that I do it.
It's because you're fancy.
I am fancy. But they got the clear outsole portion right there and all that stuff, and some pennies had it, some pennies didn't. It was mostly the Penny 2s. Penny 3s had it right on the little outrigger thingies. Now, one of the things on here, though, that I absolutely despise is this right here, the little shank plate. It's because they faked the funk like Jordan Brand does. It's not real carbon fiber, but they made it look like carbon fiber, and I just think that that is so dumb. But as a shank plate, it'll work. TPU is just as good as carbon fiber typically for people like me. If you're a big ass dude, if you're like one of these two guys, probably need a little bit more. The upper though, straight up LeBron 12. You remember that?
I do.
I love this. It was super comfortable, man. It's very plasticky though. Like if you look back at it now, which is what we're doing today, if you look back at this tech material, I can't remember what they called this. Was it like forged knit or something like that? I'm sure you guys know, right? You'll let me know. Sound off in the comment section. Was it forged knit? That sounds familiar. Basically what this actually is though, like in layman's terms, it's yarn, AKA threading or knit, and it's TPU coated. So plastic, and then they weave it together and then they heat weld it together, and so it forges, is what I believe it was called. I can't remember though, but it forges it all together or fuses it all together, and it's real interesting. I think that this stuff is great because it's durable, it's flexible, and it maintains its shape really well. The one thing though that I don't like about these is the shape. They fit true to size, however they're mad bubbly right here, and I don't like that. And having this knit like this will just keep it that way. Like it won't ever break in and kind of settle down like a knit would or like a leather would. would. So if you want a perfect snug one-to-one fit, I would go down half a size, but if you want just a regular normal fit, true to size is the way to go. This should be great for wide footers as well. It'll give you a little bit of swelling room and all of that stuff. Fly wire cables for the lacing, which was popular back in that time frame. They still do it sometimes now, especially like with like runners, but they don't do it a lot with basketball shoes. They'll do it like here or there, like they'll have like 2 strands, little accent color. And then you got the Penny logo on there. This is dope. No breathability though, absolutely none. This thing's got an inner sleeve in there, and that was the killer when I would try on the suede ones, and I was like, I can't do it. It's too much. You wearing your Shaqs today?
No.
Why not? Come on, man. We're supposed to be Shaq and Penny. You got to keep up with the themes. What do you think about these, man?
Well, so I have a question about them.
Sure.
Are these a retro of the 6, or these are the 6?
Great question, because there's a great story with that. Penny Hardaway and Scottie Pippen, the only 2 players that I can think of at this very moment. I'm pretty sure, almost positive. Not including Kobe in the AD line, and not including Michael Jordan, because their lines technically didn't stop.
Okay.
They kept going, even after retirement. But Penny and Pippen, their lines stopped. Pippen stopped at the 5, Penny stopped at the 4.
Okay.
As far as playing days go. They finished their careers out in either retros of their own shoes or PEs of other shoes. And then for whatever reason, Nike decided to make a Penny 6 and a Penny 5 and a Pippen 6. And they were lifestyle shoes. They were sportswear shoes. They were in these boxes.
Okay.
They were not performance boxes.
Because I was just curious, like, if this was a retro, is that why
No.
they left out the cushion?
No, this is not a retro. This is an original model. Again, to my knowledge, to my recollection that I can remember, this is the only times when a player had been retired with his line was discontinued, whatever, other than retros, where they just were like, hey, let's make a new one. And I just remember being excited. I was like, man, there's gonna be a Penny 5. That's sick. That's never happened before. And then there was a Penny 6, and I was like, yo, that's hella sick. This actually reminds me a lot of another shoe that I really want to get to review that I never did. I'm actually going to keep it to myself, because if I can get a pair, it'll be a really fun video to talk about. I love this kind of video, by the way, like that we make. I know that a lot of people love our performance reviews just because that's what we're really like known for. But I like just sitting here and reminiscing and talking. That's why I like the podcast, because it's fun to talk about stuff other than, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But overall, what do you think about these? Yes or no? Actually, better question. Better question. Can you grab my pair down there? Can you reach them?
The Shaqs.
Just grab them. So I know you don't really like these because you're not a fan of pennies and stuff. So which one would you choose? Which one's uglier?
Oh, wait, uglier?
Yeah.
These are uglier.
Man, these are so pretty together. Look at this. Is it right? Oh yeah, they're on the right side. This is perfect. Perfect.
You win. Perfect.
But anyways, these are almost as classic as the Reebok Shaqnosis, and almost as classic as the Air Penny 2. And almost as ugly, according to her. She don't know anything.
No, I like the coloring of these ones.
Colors don't mean.
Colors is everything. Colors can make or break a shoe.
They do, and
So.
I say that all the time. No, I know. That was a good quote. So that pretty much takes care of it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Let us know what you think about the Nike Air Penny 6 down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for everything, and until next time, guys, have a good one.